Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about focusing on what you are doing now. This is from a conversation from one of the coaches from life coaching session. The topic or the situation was there are two tasks that you need to do, and this person was focusing on task 1, which she feels like need to finish before starting task 2. But task 2 was more important for her, or whatever she wanted to do, but task 1 was more or less what she needed to do. Although she's working on this task 1, kind of tedious, not really interesting, but then she was always thinking about, oh, maybe I should do task 2, although she already decided that she's gonna do it after task 1. But task 2, she wasn't really aware of what exactly she wants to do. It's kind of like a vague idea that she wants to do, but not so much detail. So the fact she doesn't know about this task 2, which is supposed to happen in future, was kind of trapping her, so that she couldn't really focus on the task that she is actually doing right now. And I think that can apply to many people's situation, and it does apply to many of my situation too. I think a lot of times we are so worried about what we're supposed to do in the future, so that we are not really focusing on the things happening to us right now. So after the session, I introduced this book, The Power of Now, to the coachee, and especially this section that I thought was relevant, which is chapter 4, Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now. So our mind always try to avoid the now, and our mind tend to kind of worry about the future or regret about the past. And even from that chapter 4, where I thought was more relevant was page 84, which is under wherever you are, be there totally. And the part I thought was very relevant was this part. Are you stressed? Are you so busy getting to the future that the present is reduced to a means of getting there? Stress is caused by being here but wanting to be there, or being in the present but wanting to be in the future. It's a split that tears you apart inside. To create and live with such an inner split is insane. So this is from page 84. But yeah, I agree. And when we have that kind of contradiction, when we are doing something but our mind is in the future, which is not happening, so we don't know exactly what to think about, but we go back and forth, and we cannot really concentrate on here, but mentally so tired. So the coach was very exhausted and tired. And as I said earlier too, it happens to me too. So I always have to remind myself, hey, you're here, you're now, and it's not happening yet, so don't worry about it yet. And when I was younger, I think I was more, worried about future than now. Right now, I worry about future less, because I went through, again, always this topic, but cancer fighting with my son, and I lost my son. So I really experienced death in front of me, and the end of life in front of me. So now I do feel like, what's the point of really trying to figure out the future that hasn't arrived here yet? That was the most important thing in fighting cancer. You know, we didn't know what was gonna happen, although we wanted to know what's gonna happen, but we never know. And so we needed to kind of discipline ourselves, not to focus on something we don't know, but just here and now, something we know. But I had the tendency to worry about future, you know, while I was in college or whenever I was younger too. And I remember vividly that I called my brother from US when I was studying in the US. And I was thinking about my career, you know, like I was getting closer to graduation. And I was thinking, oh, what should I do after I graduate from college? And there were so many things I wanted to do. Maybe I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing. So I tried to kind of get some advice from my brother, and also his wife, so my sister-in-law. And I vividly remember what my sister-in-law said. Well, yeah, after listening to, you know, all the things that I said, all the things that I share that I'm, you know, worried about, she said, yeah, I see, but it hasn't happened yet, so maybe we don't have to worry about it yet. We can worry about it when it actually happens. So that kind of lifted me, because again, it's the same situation as the coachee, you know, here are the things that I have to do before I graduate, but because I was so worried about what I'm gonna do in the future, I couldn't really concentrate and I wasn't really doing anything. And then that kind of feeds more, you know, anxiety, and it was vicious cycle. So after I heard that, yeah, that's right, it hasn't happened yet, so maybe I don't have to worry about it. So it's becoming kind of a mantra to me whenever the thoughts comes and I start worrying, like, oh, what should I do, you know? And I tell myself, if there's something that I can do, okay, do it now, you know, even if it's just a little bit, it makes me feel good, so just do something. But if it's just a thought and there's nothing I can do about it right now, then don't worry, forget it. And you know, you will worry about it later. And I was reading Suntzu's The Art of War, and I thought it's also related to that way of thinking. First of all, the big kind of aha to me by reading the book was, I want to quote this part: the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. So I thought it can relate to this future part, you know, like, yeah, here's the enemy or something that I have to fight or overcome or whatever, but maybe I don't have to fight. There's no need, maybe. And by not fighting or worrying, maybe I can win. And another part is, if you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. So this is again kind of, you know, not fighting, but waiting, because you don't know what the future brings. You know, you are so concerned about what's gonna happen, and maybe if this happens, I should do that. If that happens, I should do this. But before you know, if you wait enough for the future to come, maybe this issue itself will be gone for some reason. And then you end up not really having to deal with it anymore. So you never know. But we tend to think that whatever that we have in our thoughts is gonna be there all the time until the future, so we have to do something. But there is impermanence in everything. Nothing is stable. Everything is static and everything is dynamic. Everything is changing. So we assume it's gonna be there and we have to do something. But when we focus on what we have to do now, and when we are done with this, maybe we don't have this issue anymore. Or maybe we have a clear idea by the time we were done with this task. right now, because we're focusing, because we need to do this one, we don't know how to solve this problem, but that's okay. When we focus on our stuff and when we get done, and when the right time comes, maybe we clearly know what we're supposed to do about this. So that's the things that I thought about after having the coaching session and after reflecting on myself too. So today's question to you is, what are the things that's in front of you right now that you're doing? And what are the worries and thoughts that you have that's constantly talking to you, although you don't have any answers, right? And how would you like to let this thought go? Thank you for listening to my YouTube channel. See you next time.